These are the earrings we're going to make. This set is made with bicone crystals, and this set is made with round crystals. It's very nice. And if you use the beaded bail from my other video, you can turn this piece into a really nice pendant. So let's get started. For this design, you're going to need super duos, 5 per earring. You're going to need 4mm crystals. You can use bicone or round crystals, but you need 14 of them per earring. You're going to need a 14mm rivoli crystal, 1 per earring. You're also going to need 15 and 11/0 Toho seed beads of the same color. And then also a 6 or 8 seed bead for each earring for putting the jump ring through at the top to connect the ear hook. Okay, let's get started. I'm going to start with a stop bead. And then I'm going to string on 36 15/0 seed beads, 6 at a time. I'm using a size 12 needle because I'm working with 15, so I need a really small needle. Put 6 on, put 6 more. 6 more makes it 12. 6 more makes it 18. 6 more makes it 24. 6 more makes it 30. And the last 6 to make 36. So I've strung on 36 seed beads, and what I want to do is go back through them to form a loop. I think my needle is just long enough to maybe go through all of them, but if not, I make a couple passes. Got my needle through. And I form a loop. Now that I've got my loop, I don't need my stop bead anymore, so I'll pull that one off and I'll tie a knot. Now what I want to do is put on a 15, an 11/0, and a 15. And then I'm going to go back through the bead I'm coming out of, and then 6 more, so a total of 7. And I'm going to repeat that all the way around. 15, 11/0, 15. Go back through the bead I'm coming out of, and 6 more. 15, 11/0, 15. Through the bead I'm coming out of, and 6 more. Complete all the way around 3 more times. 15, 11, 15. Fifteen, 11, 15. 15, 11, 15. And this is the last one. I'm still going through the bead I'm coming out of in 6 more, but that should put me right going through the bottom of this last, or this first floret I made. So I'm coming out of the same bead that this thread is coming out of. Then I'm going to go up through this 15 and through that 11. So I'm going to turn it around to do that. Up through this 15 and through this 11. Okay, so now I can snip this end here so it's not in my way. Okay, so that my thread's going up, I like to work this way. I'm going to start here and put 5 11-ohs on. And then I'm going to go through the next 11-oh. I'm going to do that all the way around. 5 11-ohs. And through the next 11-oh. Five 11-ohs. And through the next one. Five 11-ohs. Through the next one. 5 11-ohs. Through the next one. 5 11-ohs. Now I'm going through the last one. I'll go through this 11-oh plus 2 more. So I'm going through 3. The next step is to skip 1, go through 2, skip 1, go through 2, and do that all the way around. That'll kind of make this fold up like a crown, so we'll see. Okay, skip 1, go through 2, skip 1, go through 2. That formed a little corner there, one of the peaks of the crown. We'll just keep following that all the way around. Skip 1, go through 2, skip 1, go through 2. Repeat that, skip 1, go through 2, skip 1, go through 2, pull tight as you go along. And you can see it's starting to fold up and look like a crown. Just continue that around. Skip 1, go through 2, skip 1, go through 2. Skip 1, go through 2, skip 1, go through 2. And we got the last one here. Skip 1, go through 2. Just do it once this time. You can kind of see it's kind of like folded up into kind of a crown shape. And now I'm back at my first one, so I'm going to skip 1 and go through 3 on this one. So I'm coming out the tip of that crown. Okay, before I set the rivoli crystal in here, I'm gonna add 2, go through the next peak, add 2 seed beads, go through the next peak. I'll do that a few times before I put the crystal in. 2 11-ohs, go through the next peak. You don't have to make it too tight yet. 2 11-ohs, going through the next peak. 2 11-ohs, going through the next peak. I'll do one more 2 11-ohs going through the next peak. Now before I pull it tight, here's where I can put my rivoli crystal in. I'm going to put it in, this is my crystal, but I'm going to put it in face down because this is the back. So I set it down in there, and then when I tighten this, I can see it starting to encase it. So I'll continue putting on 2 seed beads, going through the next peak. Two seed beads, 2 11-ohs, going through the next peak. Okay, so now I'm just gonna keep following it around until it kind of stays tight. So I'm gonna tighten this. And I'm just gonna go through 3 at a time, through 3 seed beads at a time to kind of keep tightening it and reinforcing. Going through 3 more. And 3 more. Okay, it seems to be staying, and this is what the other side looks like, which is very nice, and shows almost the entire diameter of the crystal, which is what I like. And so now we're here coming out of this bead. I want to get back to the tip here, so I'm going to go through 3 more seed beads. Sometimes I have to go, if it's tight, I have to go through it 1 at a time. I got through 2 of them. So 1 more. So I'm now at the tip of the star. Okay. Because I like to keep working this way, I'll leave it backwards so we're seeing the back. But the next step is to put on a 4mm, a 11-oh, and a 4mm. And then go through the next tip. And I will do that all the way around. 4mm, 11-oh, 4mm. Through the next tip. Four millimeter, 11-oh, 4mm. And we're going through the last one. So we're going to go through the seed bead, the 4mm, and the next seed bead, so that we're coming out the new tip of the star. Next I'm going to put 3 11 O's on and go back through the seed bead and the 4mm. I'm going to put on a super duo and go through the next 4mm and seed bead. And I'm going to put on 3 11 O's. And go back through the seed bead and the next 4mm. Put on a super duo. Through the next 4mm and 11 O. Then I'm going to put on 3 seed beads and go back through that seed bead and the next 4mm. Now the rest of the way around, I'm just going to put on 1 seed bead between these 4mm crystals. So put on 1 11 O and then go through the next crystal and seed bead. I'll go through the next crystal, put on 1 seed bead, go through the next crystal and seed bead, and through the next crystal. Put on 1 seed bead, through the next crystal and seed bead, and through the next crystal. Put on my last seed bead for this row. And this time I'm going to go through the crystal and up the side of this floret. Okay, now I'm going to skip this seed bead and go down this one to kind of scrunch it together. I'm going to put on 3 11 O seed beads and go through the top of this super duo. Then I'm going to put on a crystal and a super duo. And go through the tip here. This is going to be the top of the earring. I'll now reverse that. I'll put on a super duo, then a crystal. And go through this, the top of this super duo. I'm going to put on 3 11 O's. And go through, up through this side. And skip this bead and go down through this one. As you can see, the earring is starting to form that teardrop shape. And as I'm coming out of this one, I want to get back to the top here. So I'm going to switch it over because I'm going to be working this way. I've got my thread coming out of here, and I'm going to go through this bottom seed bead and through the next crystal, working my way back to the top. I'll go through that next superduo and the next crystal. Just go through the superduo and then the crystal. And then I also want to go through the bottom of that floret there. Okay, so to get back up here, I'm going to go through, up and around these and out this superduo. So I'm going to go up through this seed bead and through this top seed bead and superduo. Okay, so now I'm coming out of the bottom of this superduo. I'm going to put on one 11-0 seed bead and go through the top of that superduo. I'm going to put on a superduo and go through the top of this one. Now I'm going to put on two 11-0s and go through the tip of the superduo I just put on. Now I'm going to put on an 11-0, a 6 or 8 seed bead, and an 11-0. And I'm going to go back through the tip. This will be where the jump ring goes through to connect the ear hook or clip. And then I'm going to put on two 11-0s. And I'm going to go back through all three superduos, the top of this one, the bottom of the middle one, and the top of this one. So I'm going through all three. I'm going to put on one seed bead, 11-0, and go back through the bottom of this superduo, the seed bead next to it, and the next superduo. Okay, so now I want to connect and reinforce all these seed beads I just put on. So I'm going to go up through these 4 seed beads, through the 6 or 8 seed bead, and through these 4 seed beads down this side. It's almost finished. I'm going to reinforce, go all the way back around and through the tip before I tie a knot, or I might continue to here to tie the knot. I want to do that so that if I'm coming out of the tip, I can make this into a pendant using my other video for the custom beaded bail. But I'm making an earring with this one, so I'm just going to follow it all the way around to reinforce. So I'm going to go through the crystal and superduo. I'm going to go through 4 of the seed beads, maybe 3 at first, and then the 4th one. It's a little tighter. I'm going to skip that seed bead like I have been doing and go through the next one. And I'm just going to follow this all the way around through the crystal, seed bead, crystal, seed bead. Go through the seed bead here first and then the crystal. It's a little tight. There we go. Now that I'm coming out of this glass crystal, I'm going to go up through this seed bead, skip this one, go through the next 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Through this crystal, back up through these 4 seed beads, through the tip, down through these 4 seed beads, and well, if I was going to make the pendant, I'd stop here and continue with the beaded bail, but I'm making an earring, so back down these 4, and then I'll tie a knot here. Go through once and twice and pull, and I can snip that off, and this is our earring. And now I can take my open jump ring and I can feed it through that top bead. Then I can add the ear hook and close the loop. And there we have our finished earring. That's it.